Hey, this is Sid, CEO and co-founder at GitLab. I'm here with Ashley Kramer, and we're going to discuss our quarterly features. At GitLab, we ship continuously. We make code, and as soon as it's ready, it gets merged and it gets deployed to GitLab.com. And once a quarter, we take kind of what we have on GitLab.com and release it for the people running GitLab self-managed. It's a continuous train, and the train runs on time. We've never missed a self-managed release every month on the 22nd. It's like a birthday present, according to some people. That is really good for our speed of innovation. What we have to be careful of is making sure that we can have kind of appealing narratives and appealing events. And I think for that, it would be good to say, hey, what are some quarterly features where we have something that we think is appealing? Doesn't necessarily mean it's a whole bunch of work to make it. It's much more of how much value we derive or how it helps with kind of the narrative. For example, the narrative is, hey, GitLab is a DevSecOps platform. So for that, it's important to have some ops features so people know like, hey, GitLab you can use for operations too. So whatever helps with that, with our value and communication, I think in R&D, between kind of product marketing and R&D, we should select like, hey, these are some of our quarterly features. And these features we will make and we will ship as usual, except we will not publish them in the release post. They will be in our change log. So people who really want to know what's in the release, it is in our change log, which is a file in our repo. So you can see it, but we won't announce them. Now, they might show up in the GitLab interface or not. They might be behind a feature flag or not. They might be general available. They might be in public beta. They might be in closed beta. But even when we ship something generally available and it shows up in everyone's interface, typically there's not like people who start blog posts about it. So 99% of people will not learn of these features. And that way we can kind of improve on these features and then have a big splashy launch. And in that launch, which I propose we do quarterly, we can have like 3 of them where we say, hey, this is what just got released. And it doesn't matter that it was already in the code base 1, 2 editions ago. As long as we don't put them in the release post, it will feel to everyone like it is new. So don't slow down our development. Don't hide things. We're an open core company. People can see all the source code. We can even like have them be used by people. So we get feedback, like if there's a bug in it, we want to find out before we make this big splashy launch. But that way, once a quarter, we can say, hey, new version of GitLab with 3 new awesome things. I think our release posts are great. Like you see all the things, but it's also a bit of a laundry list. I don't think our release posts are ever going to be the best vehicle for our marketing. So I propose we separate those release posts from this quarterly launch. The quarterly features will be in the quarterly launch. I propose we do it a bit before the release post so that we can still include them in the release post of the quarter. But let's say around between the 15th and the 22nd, between when we kind of take a cut of what's on GitLab.com and release that, we can have a quarterly launch. Let's say we do it the 20th at a fixed point in the quarter. I'm not sure it should be the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd month. I'm not sure when, but we can set a cadence for that. And on that 20th, on that month of the quarter, we say, hey, there's a great new GitLab release. It's going to be, and we can say the major and minor version, and it contains these 3 new features. And those features, we should go into more depth than we now do in the release post. Not just talk about what it is, but also talk about what it means, what the value for the customer is. And also talk about why they got created. Who was the customer who asked for this? Who was the user who contributed to this? Who was the product manager? What was the thinking? How did it go over time? Like give more of a narrative, give an appealing story, do more storytelling on these 3 appealing features. Actually, anything you want to add?
No, I love it. And that's something good for product and product marketing to